got my co-host Kyle. Say what's up. Let's get this shit going, baby.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my dog Kyle. Happy birthday to you.
Yes, sir.
He
Yes,
back.
sir.
He back.
I'm 23, bro. That's crazy.
Hell yeah, bro. Welcome to the club. MJ year.
Yeah, bro. Nah, it's LeBron year. Let's be real.
The LeBron year. Yeah.
Jordan's the GOAT. It's
Cleveland LeBron.
Yeah, it's LeBron's the GOAT, so it's the LeBron year now.
Yeah. We can't say 6 because that's way in the past. So we can't use Miami LeBron.
No, we can't. Oh, shit.
What's going on, y'all? It's another day on the Day One podcast. I'm your co-host, Anthony. I got my co-host, Kyle. Say what's up.
What's going on, y'all?
Football is here. This is the last week of the NFL preseason, which means real football is right around the corner. 2 weeks away.
Bye week next week.
We get a bye week, and then we get into the real shit. We are planning to do a watch party on our playback channel. We will leave a link in the description if you're catching this on the rerun. Go check it out. We're going to do a live stream watch party of the first game, Thursday Night Football, Ravens at Chiefs, ring night for the Chiefs, the beginning of the quest for 3 in a row. We'll be there. We might have some guests with us. We shall see, but we will be there. We hope y'all are there too. So we'll put you onto that as it gets closer. And next week, next Wednesday, our big event of the year, the live stream of the schedule predictions with our boys from Inside the Nest, Smitty and King DV. That's Wednesday, 6:30, 7 o'clock, somewhere around that time.
Yep.
We all 32 floors. We're eating off of 32 floors.
Yep.
So
yeah, dude.
Tap in. And obviously, the shorts are going to be becoming more consistent. The videos as the year goes on. And then NBA comes back, all that stuff. But NFL, right around the corner. Subscribe, hit the bell. Don't miss a thing.
Yeah, dude. I couldn't be more excited. This season's going to be dope. I feel like there's only going to be 3 teams this year that I'm not going to care to watch. I'm not excited to watch New England play football. Not excited at all.
I'm not excited to watch Denver.
Denver with Bo Nix now, dude, is like it's interesting because he dominated preseason. Like,
yeah, but preseason's a different game than the regular season.
It is. I mean, Denver, I don't care to watch. I mean, not Denver. New England, I don't care to watch. Oddly enough, yeah, New Orleans, I don't care to watch. And Seattle, I don't care to watch.
Why? Because Geno Smith is the quarterback?
No, it's just like, I don't know. I just don't expect any type of jump at all.
Yeah.
And if I'm not going to say Seattle, then I'd say Carolina. So
yeah, but Carolina, they got some interesting things going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I'm hyped to watch Kyler Murray throw the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't give a fuck about the Cardinals. Like, that's going to be fun. Like there's something with every team minus like 1 or 2 that's just not. I don't care to watch. So, but I'm super excited, dude. The energy is back as it was last year with Rodgers debuting.
Year 20.
If he blows out his Achilles again, I swear to God.
It's not meant to be. Yeah, I think he'll be good this year.
I think so.
We're off of that.
Super Bowl run.
What's the likelihood of a re-injury? I think it's very low.
Yeah, it's very low. But then again, he's going on 40. He's in his 20th year. He hasn't played football since like I think December of 2022, January 2023. Like it's been a while since he's played. So minus those 4 snaps, it's been a long time. So
hey, you got to give him the preseason last year. Can't forget about that.
I guess, yeah, but he played like 3 drives, so
That's at least something. It's more than
It
4
is.
plays.
it is. But then again, it's not, grand and pound
Yep.
week 5 against,
Yep.
fucking Lamar Jackson. It's not that.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. I'm super excited to watch it, though. I can't wait to watch my offense. My defense is going to absolutely obliterate everybody, including
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles.
No. That is no shot, bro.
We'll talk more
Especially
about that
after
later.
the news that we discuss a little bit later. I don't think any defense is touching this offense, bro.
We'll see.
And I agree. The vibes are high, especially out of my camp.
Mm-hmm.
We're all loosey-goosey, having fun.
Pause. Yo.
Yeah, pause. We're having fun. That's the most important thing. And that's the most dangerous teams. The ones that aren't uptight, we lost the Super Bowl last year. We have to get back.
Yep.
We're just playing football. We're hitting people.
Yes, sir.
Making plays.
Absolutely.
So
mini show this week, probably only going to run an hour because next week is our biggest show of the year, as we do every year. But we're going to do some predictions today. We're going to give you all of our NFL honors predictions, as well as some hot takes we have for the season. Recapping, I don't know if you remember much of what we said last year, but I know one that I had, which was Jared Goff would be a top 5 MVP candidate. I wasn't super far off. He was really good last year.
Yeah.
Top
wasn't he a
6
Pro Bowler last year?
He was a Pro Bowler, top 6 quarterback in football. So, hey now.
Hey, sometimes we hit, sometimes we miss, but we hit.
Yeah. Facts.
I don't remember any of mine last year.
I don't either. It was a while ago, but that's the one I vividly remember because you were like, you're high as hell. But yeah.
I was wrong.
You were wrong. I mean, I was too, but
yeah.
All right, dude. Let's waste no time. We'll start with the boring ones and we'll work our way all the way up to MVP. Who is your coach of the year for 2024-2025? You can give me your winner and runner up. You can give me just your winner, however you want to do it, however many names you want to say.
Interesting. I mean, the landscape of the NFL is pretty interesting for this question. So I think obviously we're going to be really good this year. Coach of the year is always contingent off of either you guys have a big turnaround or your team is the number 1 seed.
Yep. And you haven't been the number 1 seed in a while. Like Andy Reid doesn't win Coach of the Year because what he does year to year is expected.
Exactly. So a guy like him really isn't going to get it. Kyle Shanahan either.
Nope.
But depending on what that squad looks like and if he gets the most out of them, because at this point, I really don't think Brandon Ayuk's showing.
Yeah.
I don't. So, and they're the Niners are a different team without him. But if he's able to get them to where they were last year, hey, he deserves it.
Yep.
The guys that come to mind to me are more under the radar.
Agreed.
So I think of guys like Matt Eberflus with the Chicago Bears. They're going to take a big step this year. And, I mean, obviously Caleb Williams is a big part of that, but he's going to get more recognition. And, they weren't really the best last year, but down the stretch, they were a pretty gritty team. They kind of got behind the message. They could be, a team that, shows up, and Matt Eberflus is kind of that guy. Dan Quinn could be another one, I think.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Depending on how, things go there. Again, 2 rookie quarterbacks and everything, but kind of resetting the culture in Washington. They made a lot of moves this offseason. I think they're going to be improved. And one of my hot takes, which we'll get into later on, but Dan Quinn's a guy to watch out for. So those 2 come to mind. And then if you want a guy that's, going to be top of the league.
Yeah.
Probably D'Amico Ryans.
Okay. Who's your number 1? Your winner.
My winner, I'm going to say Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn, okay.
I'm going to say Dan Quinn.
All right. I like some of the names you brought up. Matt Eberflus, I don't think they're going to be good enough I think they're going to have a good jump. I just don't think 10-7 is going to get it done because I see that as pretty much their expectation.
Yeah.
Especially in the tough division. Like, there's a chance they're 10-7, end up third in the division. Like, I don't see that happening. And kind of the same thing with Dan Quinn. I don't think they're quite 10-7. 9-8's not going to get it done. And if they're 9-8, they're going to be third in the division.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, we look at a guy like Brian Daboll.
yeah.
They were around 9-10 wins in 2022 when he won it, and then they won a playoff game.
That's true. That's true.
So
That's a good point.
I could totally see the same thing happening with like Dan Quinn or even Matt Eberflus.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the cachet with Dan Quinn is there a lot more than Eberflus.
I agree.
But
yeah, all the shine's going to be on Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But all the shine in Washington's really on Dan Quinn rebuilding the culture. But I mean, I guess really if you had to have a most likely out of my guys, it would probably be D'Amico.
Okay.
But I'm giving you the spicy pick.
I respect it. Your pick's Dan Quinn. I will definitely be laughing at you at the end of the year.
I will be too.
My number 2 is D'Amico Ryans. I think the Texans are going to have a lot of eyes on them. I think it's either going to be one of C.J. Stroud winning MVP or 2 D'Amico Ryans being coach of the year. I don't think they're both going to do it.
Yeah.
But if the defense is humming and things like that, I think D'Amico has a real chance to do it, especially because they're going to be a top 3 seed.
Mm-hmm.
But my number 1 is Matt LaFleur.
Okay.
I think the Packers, if the Packers can win that division, and I think they possibly could, they'll be in the top 3 of that division. You think about the jump that a guy like Jordan Love took last year. If he comes out of the gate playing like that this year, I don't really. Plus all the additions they made on defense, they've done a lot of moves to improve that team. I think Matt LaFleur could be a really sexy pick.
Yeah.
So I went with him as my number 1 because I think the Packers are going to be really, really good.
Yeah. I don't hate that at all. That could definitely be a possibility.
Yep. He reminds me of what kind of what D'Amico Ryans did last year.
Yeah.
Just D'Amico Ryans didn't quite win enough games, basically.
Right.
So,
yeah.
All
right.
You got Dan Quinn. I got Matt LaFleur.
And we both have D'Amico Ryans as a runner-up.
Yes.
Cool.
Coach of the year.
That is coach of the year.
Oh yeah, I did coach of the year. Comeback player of the year.
Comeback player of the year. All right, there we go. I think there's one obvious option here. It's Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. Aaron
Rodgers. I'm telling you right now, he is by far, most definitely going to be comeback player of the year. This is a dude who tore his Achilles 4 plays into the season last year, damn near played at the end of the year.
Yep.
And now has a chance to take a Jets team potentially to a Super Bowl, definitely a deep playoff run if he stays healthy, which I think he will.
I hope so.
I think so too. So it definitely getting a Pro Bowl type year out of Aaron Rodgers is going to shoe in comeback player of the year. If you wanted me to give you a runner up, I'd probably say Nick Chubb.
That's my runner up too.
Look at us. I mean, that's the only 2 like big time name guys coming off of substantial injuries that I can really think of.
I wrote down a dark horse, and hear me out. I think the Falcons could be really good. I think they could be really good.
Bro, no.
I think Kirk could win comeback player of the year. Say Rodgers gets hurt or is just not as good. Because of the media, if he's not quite the same, we're gonna have a really bad taste in our mouth about him because of the media. I think Kirk Cousins could be the unsung hero.
Yeah, he could be. I mean, I just don't know if Atlanta's going to have that many eyes on them. But it is comeback player of the year. So
I think they could simply because I think their division is so bad that they could win a lot of games.
You want a really dark horse?
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson.
I thought about him.
That's
too.
a real dark horse.
Mm-hmm.
He's another one. That AFC South is, kind of wide open outside of Houston, and he was dynamic for the first 4 weeks of the year and then got hurt for the rest of the year with the shoulder. But he's going to be a guy that really takes a step. I don't know if Indianapolis isn't going to have the eyes on it like that, and
No.
people really aren't going to care because of Aaron Rodgers, but
Yep.
he's another guy kind of in that
Yeah.
class.
Yeah, I was gonna put Anthony Richardson. The only reason I didn't as my number 2 pick is because I don't think we know enough about him to know that he completely came back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we have no
That's-
idea
yeah.
exactly what his arm is to
Yep.
like really be like he's back. Like I can't. I don't. It's like he's a rookie again, basically.
Yeah.
So
like Aaron Rodgers, yeah, we know you're all the way back, and
Yeah.
seeing him in training camp, he is pretty much all the way back against the Giants.
bro, he went
Barbecue
like
chicken
he
alert.
threw like 4 touchdowns. It was like 21 for 23 or some shit like that at
Jeez.
practice.
Oh man, I feel bad for Giants fans. They're gonna be so ass.
He's so bad,
They're
dude.
so ass, bro. Remember the weekly stairway to heaven that we're bringing back this year? They're gonna be in the basement the whole season.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yep. Unless they start like 2-0.
Yeah, but then they might go 0-15.
Maybe. All right. Excuse me. All right. NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. I did a top 3. You don't have to do that. I like my picks,
So I'll give you probably my guy that I'm looking at to be the guy, and that's Jared Verse.
That's my number 1.
That's your number 1. I think it'll be more interesting for me to give you my dark horse number 2, Quinyon Mitchell.
I respect that. He's a dog.
Reason being, now hear me out. I know Eagle bias, but it's not really. Hear me out.
Mm-mm.
He has been getting a lot of playing time as of late in training camp, and Vic has said that he wants Q on the field, ideally as an outside guy, but just because we are so deep, it's not really feasible. So what has been happening is when we run like base 4-3, Quinyon Mitchell is the outside guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we play nickel, which is really more the base in this current NFL, he bumps inside. He's going to have a huge role on this team, and he's been showing out all camp, especially as of late, going head-to-head with AJ and Devontae and winning reps.
Yep.
He's a guy definitely for sure that should get some consideration. I don't know if he's going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year, but he's definitely a guy that's going to be in the mix throughout the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like those picks. I didn't have him in my top 3, mainly because I think you are so stacked that he's not going to necessarily get lost. But I feel like a lot of the conversation is going to be on, wow, Slay's a great corner, and what the hell is wrong with James Bradbury? I think that's what we're going to deal with most of the year.
James Bradbury is not going to be on the field, bro. He's a backup safety.
I just feel like there's so many things going on your team that he's just not going to quite get enough love.
I don't know, though. I don't really think
there's
so.
A chance.
Because the issue with it was what's going on. What's the answer? He is the answer. Yeah. He was our first round pick. He's going to get a lot of PT, even though Isaiah Rodgers is looking to start, and Keely Ringo potentially could be in that mix too. But they've been on record saying that Quinyon Mitchell is going to have a role and get significant time, and they really like what they see out of him. So that's only the reason that I have him at number 2, just because he's shown a lot in camp, and they're putting him everywhere, and he's been having a lot of success. So that tells me he's going to be a big part of that secondary. And, Who gives a shit about James Bradbury, bro?
Listen, it's no hate. It's no hate on Quinyon Mitchell. I think there's another corner out there that's going to get more opportunity and just as much eyes. But my number 3 is Dallas Turner for the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he can be any higher on this list because I think the Vikings are going to be so bad he's not really going to stand out. But he is arguably the best defensive player in this class. So I put him at 3. Number 2 is my other corner, Terry and Arnold for the Lions at number 2.
I don't hate it.
I think Quinyon Mitchell could have just as good of a season. I just think Terry and Arnold's going to be on the field every snap because the Lions secondary, like your secondary was bad with talent. The Lions was bad with no talent. last year.
Yeah.
So I think Terrion Arnold's really going to stabilize that, and there's going to be a lot of eyes on it because that was their glaring weakness on defense last year.
Right.
And I think that's what's going to put him over Quinion Mitchell this year. But yes, my number one is Jared Verse. I love this. Like every single game, as soon as the defense trots out, it's good for the Rams. It's going to be, what are they going to do without Aaron Donald? Let's see what this D-line looks like without Aaron Donald.
And then Jared Verse happens, and it's like,
And then-
oh, wow. We didn't lose a beat.
Jared Verse slid right in there with a bunch of other young guys that, like last year, remember last year, one of their D tackles and one of their edges were number 1 and 2 for sacks for defensive rookies last year.
Yeah.
Both having, I think, 1 at 10.5 and 1 at 8.5, which is great as a rookie.
Yep.
Jared Verse slides right in there. They also made another draft pick that I really like in Braden Fisk on the D-line.
Yep.
But they just have a lot of guys, youth there, that I think are going to play well with each other. And I think Jared Verse they're going to be asking the questions all the time during these live broadcasted games. What does this defense look like without Aaron Donald? It looks like Jared Verse's defense. And I think that's what we're going to see. It's just perfect situation for him to have a great season. I think he wins it.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't believe we had the same. That's wild to me.
I know.
right.
That's funny.
All right, so you had Jared Verse 1, and I had Quinion Mitchell. I mean, you had Quinion Mitchell 2.
I had Quinion. Yep. You had Quinion Mitchell too?
No, I did not.
Bro.
Hell no.
Just kidding.
All right, Rookie of the Year, offense.
Caleb Williams, number 1 by far.
Agreed. Yeah,
obviously, almost as much of a lock as Aaron Rodgers for comeback player of the year. The Caleb Williams mania. It's pretty much going to be like Victor Wembanyama.
Yep.
For the NBA last year.
Like they're going to throw someone's name in there to make it interesting, and
yeah,
just,
my two. That name is Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
He's also a guy that's going to get a lot of eyes on him. He is the guy slated to resurrect the Commanders. He might not do it in year 1, but he is a solid quarterback. He's shown flashes in college. Mobile guy, also great in the pocket, good passer. So we'll see. We saw some flashes in preseason, but I mean, if it's not him, if I had to get a third, I'd probably say Marvin Harrison.
Okay. Nice.
I mean, it's between him and Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
Neighbors is probably going to get a lot more run, but is he really going to? Because Marvin Harrison's really the number 1 target in Arizona. And he's got a quarterback throwing him the ball. Even though Kyler Murray is a COD merchant, he could come off the couch watching 0 film versus Daniel Jones spending the whole week watching film, and he'll still be better than Daniel Jones.
Agreed.
So there's my top 3: Caleb, Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison.
Okay, I like that. I don't have any other quarterback in my top 3. Obviously, Caleb's number 1. The reason I don't have another quarterback is I think CJ Stroud for at least a couple of years is really going to skew our eyes for what a quarterback needs to be as a rookie. And I think the only one with an opportunity to get that same love is Caleb. I don't see anybody else playing to that level. So that's why I still think Jaden Daniels has a shot to win it. Same thing with the guys like Drake May and those guys. They still have a shot. I don't have them in my top 3.
Outside of Jaden Daniels, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it's those two, and that's really it.
My number 3 is Brock Bowers. I put him on here because I think there's a chance he is the best offensive weapon in this class. I think he's unbelievable. They've been lacking heavily since losing Darren Waller. Michael Mayer hasn't quite been what they expected him to be. But those two are going to work great together. Gardner Minshew's going to need a safety net, and I think it's going to be him. And I think he's going to have a lot of eyes on him because it's Vegas. It's a big big market. So I think Brock Bowers is on here. And then my number 2 is Marvin Harrison Jr. I think Kyler's just going to force feed him all year.
Yeah, that's all he has. It's either going to be him or Trey McBride or
Trey McBride's a nice piece.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Nice. I'm waiting for us to be completely different.
Yeah.
DPOI. So here's what we'll defer a little bit, I think.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting just because, I think this one's probably the most up in the
Open.
air.
Mhm.
Yeah, most open. Because you got a lot of good edge guys, D tackles, linebackers that could do it. I'm gonna go with to win. I'm gonna say Miles Garrett.
Okay.
Safe pick.
Yep.
I think the Cleveland Browns defense has a chance to be even more elite than it was last year, if
Yep.
not same level. They're the driving force of that team. And they're out of the big four from last year of TJ Watt, him, and Max Crosby and Micah Parsons. I think the Browns overall have the best chance at like team success. So I think they'll
Okay.
probably finish the best record wise, given number 4. But I just think overall they'll probably be the best team out of those guys. So
Okay.
that's why I have them there. And then you could probably throw, Micah Parsons, TJ Watt in there.
Okay.
But I think a very, very, very dark horse DPOI candidate, Jalen Carter. I think he's going to take a huge step this year, bro. I knew. You know where I was going with it too, bro. I'm telling you, he had a really good rookie year. I mean, second half of the year kind of went downhill just because he started getting double teamed.
Yep.
But he's had a really good camp. He has a chance to be one of the best interior linemen in the league. I think he takes a massive step. Is he going to be DPOI? Probably not.
He'll get a lot of love, though.
Yeah, I do think he gets, I think he takes quite a big step, and then he's kind of at the table. Maybe not head of the table, but he's got
he ain't Roman Reigns, bro. Not head of the table.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. You want to talk about next Aaron Donald? Just wait, bro. Just
crazy.
Wait.
So, listen, I don't have Micah Parsons or Miles Garrett in my top 3. Micah Parsons, I don't think he has a seat at that table anymore. We know how to stop him. You just run right at him. Every single time you run at him, you could just carve the Cowboys defense alive. He'll get the counting stats, but it'll all sit in the back of our head that he's a bad run defender. So,
can I actually give you one? Can I switch between Miles Garrett or TJ Watt and Micah for number 2?
Mm-hmm.
Will Anderson.
I like that. Okay.
I'm switching that. Will Anderson.
Okay.
I think he's going to have a big year in Houston. He might be the driving force of that defense. He was last year, but even more so now because he's got Danielle Hunter on the other side. They made some good moves in the secondary. They're going to be tough. He's a guy going into a second year. He's going to get a lot of recognition. He could be runner up.
Yep. I don't hate that. I didn't put Miles Garrett on here either. Just because I don't know how he can get much better, and he hasn't been winning it. So that's sort of where I went with that. My top 3, number 3, I have Max Crosby.
Okay.
For reasons I don't really have to explain. He's a great football player. And I think the Raiders, they're not going to be good, but I think they could be interesting. If he has a 3-sack game against Patrick Mahomes and another 2-sack game against Mahomes in his other game, which both are probably going to be nationally televised, he's going to get a lot of pop. So Max Crosby, I have at 3. 2, I have TJ Watt just because I think he's the best defender in football. I think he has been for a long time. He hasn't won a DPOI since 2021, so I think this year they could possibly give it to him.
They could. I just don't think the Steelers are going to be as good as people think. So it's not really.
Yeah, but if he has a healthy year, they don't lose a lot with him. If they go above 500 again.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? And then my number 1, I have Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay.
That's my DPOI.
I don't hate that.
I think he has a chance to be if he has the counting stats that these other guys do this year, I think he's going to be considered the most well-rounded defensive player in football. There's nothing this guy can't do.
I don't hate that, bro. I really don't.
And he could be playing for a number 1 seed. Yeah. So, there's a couple things, and he was so damn good last year.
Yeah.
go into year 3 just humming with the additions of Terry and Arnold in the secondary. Like he's going to have a lot more help. I think this team, he's going to have an outstanding year.
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson, he's my DPOI.
I like that.
Thank you.
I like that.
I bet you didn't even cross your mind.
No, it didn't.
Nope.
I don't know why.
I don't know, dude. You sleep. That's why.
I am sleep.
Yeah. It's all right, though. It's all right, though. We'll wake up.
Yeah.
Offensive player of the year.
There's a lot of guys here also that could potentially be offensive players of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Hard. This is hard. This is hard. It's hard doing it off the top. Because my thing is, like, I'm probably gonna say, and this is in no particular order. I'm not really sure, but I think Breece Hall should have some consideration in there. I think he's going to have a huge year, just based on how you guys utilize Breece Hall, and having Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback is going to be a big uptick. So he's going to get a lot more run, and he might be, who you guys run your offense through. So I think he's going to get a lot of production. He's a guy that deserves consideration. I mean, Tyreek Hill, but is he going to do that again? I think if and this is very contingent on if he does not win MVP. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a great year.
Okay.
If he doesn't win MVP, I think he has a case for Offensive Player of the Year, just because what we surrounded around him. I think he's going to have a bounce back year. He's been very efficient in camp. He's thrown like 300 something passes before he threw his first and only interception in training camp. So what that tells me is he's being very efficient. He's seeing the field well. He's being, very protective of the ball. And with the offensive weapons he has around him, yards on stats is possible for literally everybody in the offense. So he's gonna have the most eyes on him. But if I had to rank him, I'd probably put Jalen at 3, Tyreek at 2, and Breece Hall at 1.
You think Breece Hall is going to be your offensive player of the year?
Bro. I think he's gonna have a big year.
Okay.
Because he's a dual threat running back, running and receiving. Aaron Rodgers is gonna love that.
Yeah, he's gonna be what Aaron Jones was supposed to be, and Aaron Jones was great. It's to me, it's like the style of Aaron Jones with the talent of Bijan. That's what Breece Hall is basically gonna be this year. So number 3, I actually have Bijan. New offensive coordinator, new offensive, just whole system revamped. Kirk Cousins is there. We've seen Kirk Cousins play with top running back years before with Dalvin Cook. He's been able to do it.
Play with Alfred Morris in Washington.
Yep. And Bijan is probably the nastiest running back in football when it comes to pure running ability. He's disgusting. So yeah. Bijan at 3. I don't know if Falcons are quite going to be good enough. We've seen in recent years that you have to be a high seed. So 2. I think this is the only top wide receiver that's going to have pure stability at quarterback, and that's CeeDee Lamb. So I put Lamb at 2. Yeah. He has to show up, obviously, but
that's all Dallas has. He has to show up.
Yeah, but when Tyreek Hill, we just don't believe in Tua.
But Tyreek Hill is like a video game cheat code. But my thing is, can he do it again?
I don't think so. I think CeeDee can. I think CeeDee's was more doable than what Tyreek Hill did. So, also considering the talent at quarterback too. So Jamar, we don't know about Joe Burrow's arm. I mean, Jetta, he's gonna have Sam Darnold throwing to him.
Yeah.
Now, if Justin Jefferson is 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns, he could do it with Sam Darnold as quarterback. I just think CeeDee Lamb might have another 1,800 yards, 20 touchdowns this year. Yeah. 115 receptions.
Another Carmelo Anthony empty stat year.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's as a receiver, you have to respect it. It's gross. So I think he's the only top wide receiver with real stability at wide receiver.
That makes sense.
My number one is Breece Hall. I think,
Okay.
yeah,
No homerism.
No, the offensive line is way better this year. We haven't heard a peep about issues in the offensive line. All training camp. Rodgers looks to be just the same, if not better. Garrett Wilson looks to be a top 5 wide receiver. And none of that matters because the entire offense is getting run through Breece Hall. He's going to have 400 plus touches and he's going to have 2,000 scrimmage yards.
Yeah, I believe so.
Like he's the, just out of all of them, the one that I expect to do it. Even if Rodgers is hurt, everything's going through Breece, regardless.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it last year. It went through him quite a bit.
Yeah,
I mean, with Zach Wilson, take it for what you want, but Breece Hall can do it.
Yep.
And with Aaron Rodgers, improved.
That was off an ACL last year. That was off an ACL.
Yeah, ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
But now he's got Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball, improved O-line. You signed Mike Williams.
Season.
Now you got 2 good wide receivers. Like, he's going to have a year, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's not going to have to, like, and he doesn't have to be an every down guy even because of guys like Braylon Allen back there, who's been.
How about him, bro? Holy shit.
6 carries for 75 yards with
he looks like 11 a baby Derrick Henry.
He had 6 carries in the last preseason game. He had 11 broken tackles. He's a problem.
Y'all drafted the next Derrick Henry.
Yeah. So
damn.
Breece Hall's not going to have to do it all, which is nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I think he's the most certified offensive player of the year. There's some other guys, like obviously if it's a 2-headed race for quarterback MVP, one of them will probably get offensive player of the year, but I didn't want to do that. So
yeah.
First time in a long time that a running back would do, like running backs would go back to back for offensive player of the year though. So All right. MVP.
All right.
Your number one.
My number one, Jalen Hurts. My number one is Jalen Hurts. I know I picked him last year, but listen. This team, bro. He's on a mission, number one. Number two, we cannot sit here and gaslight. The Eagles' offense is going to be filthy. And we're going to be, a top team in the NFC.
I agree.
Whether you like it or not. We're getting back to basics. I think Kellen Moore is going to unlock an even higher level of his football acumen. We've kind of seen it throughout training camp, just him being able to scan the field and, command the offense and, just be efficient. That was the most important thing that was missing last year was just, seeing the field properly, being efficient, keeping the ball out of harm's way. He's done a great job with that. A lot of it has to do with play design. But you look at what's around him. The schedule is relatively friendly, and he is, more determined than ever and coming into his own. It's healthy.
Yeah.
And I just think he's gonna have a big year. He's probably gonna have. I think he's gonna be the best quarterback in the NFC at least. I think he solidifies himself as a top 5 quarterback this year, and that is no bias whatsoever. I mean, you just look at the situation itself, the schedule, and what we've seen in the past of him. I mean, 2022, for crying out loud, he was the MVP runner-up.
Yep.
So I believe wholeheartedly we're gonna get that same output, if not more efficient. So that, maybe hot take, but I think he's my pick for MVP. My number 2, and you can kind of do 2A, 2B with this, but I think my runner-up would be CJ Stroud. I think Houston's going to have a huge year. What's going on with Kyle there?
No, we good.
Hey, there you are.
We good.
It's like all the audience saw was just you, like. Glad you're all right, bro. Yep, my 2A, CJ Stroud. I think Houston's gonna have a big year. He's gonna step up. He's had a good camp from what we've heard. They're going to be a team in the AFC that could potentially be in the Super Bowl. So I think he takes a step. He has another big year and, solidifies himself in that top 5 talk.
Mhm.
And I guess my 2B would be Patrick Mahomes, even though he's won it, what?
Has he won it
Twice
3
out
times?
of the last 4 years, something like that.
How many times has he won it? 3 times now?
I don't know.
I don't know how many. He's
always in the mix.
Yep.
And
I don't expect anything different this year.
Yeah, exactly. So 2A, 2B, him and CJ Stroud. But I really do think that Jalen Hurts has the best opportunity to win MVP this year, just based on what we did in the offseason, the situation that he's in, what transpired. Yep. And, it's not like we have a first place schedule. So
yeah.
So we're gonna walk teams.
That's fair. So I don't have Jalen on my top 3. No hate.
No hate.
I just don't think like a lot of times what we get with MVP is like a lot of excitement and like eyeballs and media push. Jalen Hurts.
I think there's gonna be a lot of it though.
I don't think so. Not for the other 3 guys that I have here. So,
all right, we'll see. As long as it's not Brock Purdy.
No, I'll give you my 2 then 1, and then I'll give you my 2 then 1, and then my number 3 last because it's a little bit of a. But number 2, I have CJ Stroud, just like you. They might have the 1 seed. If not, they're going to get the 2 seed. They're going to be disgusting. If Stephon Diggs is still a good wide receiver, they'll be nasty. I mean, dude, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz, Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon. Gross. That is just gross.
That's a nice offense.
Yeah. So, CJ Stroud for no other reason than that. My number 1, though, is Patty Mahomes. I think Patty Mahomes is going to get it because I don't think nothing's going to be as big this year as the chase for 3 in a row. Yeah. And this is going to be arguably their best, if not second best, offense probably since Mahomes has been in the league. That's most well-rounded. They have 3 receivers that can go for 1,000 yards. Not to mention Travis Kelce still being there. Isaiah Pacheco came on last year. Pause.
Yep.
And the defense is terrific.
Creed Humphrey.
Yeah, like they're going to be awesome. Patrick Mahomes might have another 5,050 touchdown year.
Yeah.
I really see it to be a possibility. So, but every single eye is going to be on them, and every week it's going to be, can they make it to a 3-peat? And I think we're going to realize along that ride is just how damn good this offense is with Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, and Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he's number 1. But my dark horse, dude, Jordan Love.
That is hot.
Jordan Love is my dark horse MVP candidate because if they go 11-6, I think that's good enough to get it done. Because think about it, he was the best quarterback for like 9 weeks last year, dude.
Yeah.
Half a season.
I don't know if 11-6 would be enough for him in the conversation of Mahomes, CJ Stroud, because those guys are going to be commanding 11, 12-win teams.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, okay, 11. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Like you said, is the eyeballs going to be on Green Bay? I don't know. I do know Houston's going to have a lot of eyeballs. Kansas City's going to have a lot of eyeballs.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles have more eyeballs than the Packers just because of how we started and how we ended the year last year.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are going to be interested to see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, from a pure football standpoint, I do not hate that one bit. Because if he does show up and show out, what else am I supposed to say?
My thing is, like, there's a chance that they can start 6-0. And I think that could be a real big help because, like, obviously we think the Eagles are a better team, but it's a really weird situation because they're playing in Brazil.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a coin flip.
It is.
So
yeah. Well,
if they win that game,
see.
bro, Colts, Titans, Vikings, Rams, Cardinals.
I mean, the only other real challenge in there is Rams.
Yeah, and they're at home for the Rams. If they start 6-0, dude, and Jordan Love is carbon copy of what he was the last 9 weeks of the season last year, they're going to get a lot of buzz. Because then you're going to see, after that, you're going to be like, oh, shit, I want to watch Packer games. Boom, they play the Texans. They play the Lions. They play the Bears. They play the Niners, Dolphins, Lions. Like, they're going to be really good, and I think they have a chance to start really hot. And if they do, and Jordan Love is as good as we think he is, we're going to get a lot of primetime games with them.
Yeah.
Like right here, 8-20, 8-15, 8-20, 8-15, 4 weeks in a row to close out the year. They're primetime.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, he can make a late push there, but we'll see. That definitely is a possibility, though.
Yeah, I just think the schedule works out quite a bit for them. Like to at least have a hot start, and the eyeballs will be there, especially to kick off the year because they're kicking off. What are they? Sunday night?
Friday night.
Yeah, they're a standalone Friday night football game.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I'll be at the watch party. Shout out to all my Eagles fans going. It's gonna be fun. Tried to get this guy to go, but gotta work.
It's a lot going on.
I respect it.
It's a lot going on. But yeah, since I told you I got promoted, right? Yeah, bro. My work schedule's wild, dude. Tomorrow I'm 8 to 5. Saturday I'm 3 to 11, and then Sunday I'm, I think 6 to 3 or something.
6?
Like yeah. My schedule's nuts,
bro. What?
Mm-hmm.
That's wild, bro.
But yeah, Jordan Love 3, CJ Stroud 2, Patrick Mahomes 1.
I don't hate it.
Yep.
I don't hate it.
Those are our predictions. We're 100% right, even though we're both like different in some things. We're both 100% right. Yep. Anyone who comments their choices are completely wrong, even if they agree with us. So
listen, if you have any other different choices for any of the awards, drop it in the comments. We'll have a dialogue.
Yeah, and we'll tell you exactly.
Except for anybody trying to say that Brock Purdy's going to win MVP because he's not.
No. I mean, if he has a carbon copy season without Brandon Ayuk.
No, he's not.
Just saying.
No, I don't think so. He's not going to elevate that team.
No, I agree. I don't think he's going to. Anthony Richardson threw a pick 6, by the way.
Oh yeah, there's football on.
Yeah, but Adonai Mitchell's got a touchdown. That's dope.
Oh, that's good.
Yep. But yeah. Do you have any things that you want to get off your chest about the season that are like hot takes, things that are really gonna I have one that I don't know.
I got one.
Go ahead.
And it's really about two teams. I don't know if this is as hot of a take, but just because the mainstream media is just like pretty much shooing them in and giving them so much credit, because I think recency bias plays a big role.
Yep. I
think Dallas and Buffalo missed the playoffs this year. I think they both missed the playoffs. I don't get why. Like Colin Cowherd, if you've seen like a couple weeks ago, he does, his Super Bowl circles.
His bubble.
Buffalo was in it, and so was Dallas. What did they do this offseason to tell you that they're going to be a Super Bowl contender?
Yeah, he's high.
Buffalo lost half of their starting defense, pretty much their whole entire starting secondary.
Yep.
Matt Milano was hurt indefinitely. They traded Stephon Diggs. They lost Mitch Morse.
Gabe Davis
is gone. What makes you think Josh Allen and a bunch of cashiers and plumbers and electricians is going to get to the 1 seed and win the AFC East? It's not happening.
No.
They'll be lucky to win 8 games. And that is sure enough not enough in the AFC to make the playoffs.
No, it's not.
Dallas, what did they do either?
Yeah. They didn't lose as much as Buffalo.
No, but they took a big hit on the offensive line. They lost 2 key starters. Tony Pollard left. They brought the ghost of Ezekiel Elliott back. They do not have a running game.
Nope.
And, their defense, they lost Dan Quinn. They lost some starters, some key starters there on the defensive line. They brought some dudes in, but kind of patchwork. A lot of vet min guys. It doesn't move the needle for me. I think there's a lot more teams in that NFC that did a lot more than Dallas did.
Yeah.
I mean, and contingent on what CeeDee Lamb does, Dallas could be, a 500 team, but they're
Yep.
going to teeter on wild card.
Yeah.
I just think, the writing's on the wall for this team. Things are going to, collapse, and you know what happens from there. So
yeah, Jerry Jones is going to die as his football team's picking number 1 overall.
No, Mike McCarthy gets fired.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't hate that. I kind of agree. I think Dallas will probably end up sneaking in. If not, they'll be right on the outside looking in. But I 100% agree with Buffalo. You know where I stand. Buffalo's been, since the birth of the Day One podcast, I've tried to tell y'all. None of y'all want to listen, and they still don't want to listen. They still don't want to listen. I'm just happy you came around. So
yeah, I mean, 2022. I was like,
what it took?
I was like, you crazy, bro. 2023, I started to see the light. But after this offseason, I don't understand how anybody could go on TV and say that the Buffalo Bills, and Vegas too. Why is Buffalo the favorite to win the AFC East?
What has Josh Allen done? What has Josh Allen done to make you believe that he can carry a team?
Well, not only that, but you look at the Jets, you look at the Dolphins, what they've done. Even the Patriots.
Yeah.
The Patriots did more this offseason to improve than the Buffalo Bills.
They at least brought their guys back. They at least brought their guys back.
Yeah, they're going to be dog shit. The Bills are going to be super dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
So what is this? Yeah, they should be considered Super Bowl contenders, blah, blah, blah. I don't get it. I think you can consider it a hot take. I don't really think it's a hot take, but just, your mainstream media hot take, they're missing the playoffs, and so is Dallas.
I respect
I think Washington makes the playoffs over Dallas.
They have too many moving pieces, dude. I just can't see it. I can't see it. But I respect the hustle.
Yeah.
My hot take, I think the Atlanta Falcons finish with a better record than the entire AFC North. I think they're better than the Ravens, the Bengals, the Browns, and the Steelers. Damn. I think they're better than all of them.
Damn. That's hot.
Who's
but
Lamar
in the weak
throwing
NFC?
To? Who's Lamar throwing NFC? To? The ghost of Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers?
Yeah. They got Lamar, though.
They lost half their defense. Nate Wiggins has looked really good in preseason.
Yeah, Nate Wiggins was locking Johnny Wilson up first preseason game. I was kind of sick, but got to remember, that's a first-round pick from Clemson.
Yeah, but the Falcon, after what they've done the last couple weeks, around the edges, bringing in Justin Simmons, AJ Terrell, and Jesse Bates is gross. That might be the best secondary.
And Matt Judon. They brought Matt Judon in. That was a very good move. It just ponders your mind. Why would they draft Michael Penix when they could have had one of Dallas Turner, Jared Verse?
Mm-hmm. It's just, you kind of look at it as a double-edged sword because, it's brilliant if Kirk is hurt. It's brilliant if Kirk is hurt. But
I get it, because it's one of those situations when we drafted Jalen Hurts. Why are we drafting him in the second round? And then he comes in for Carson Wentz, and it's oh, that's why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. I mean, it's just there's just a lot more eyes on it because it's way earlier in the draft. But the Falcons don't have many holes now, dude. I mean, you look at their offense; it's Kirk with Bijan, and not to mention Tyler Algier, who as a rookie ran for 1,000 yards. He's there as a backup, nice piece. Wide receiver, they have Drake London. They have Ray McLeod, who's had some good years. Darnell Mooney's still there.
Yep. Kyle Pitts at tight end. I think he'll have a big year.
Yep.
But again, I mean, the wide receivers, you got some nice young guys, but it's a lot of unproven.
Yeah, but I think they're going to have a similar offensive type to what the Chiefs did last year. Target the tight end, utilize the running back, get the wide receivers involved where you can. And I think Drake London's a better receiver than any of the ones that were on the Chiefs last year, other than Rashee Rice in the second half.
That's fair.
So I think their offense is going to be really good. Their offensive line is great.
Talk about a challenge for us week 2. Holy shit.
Their only area is their D-line, but with the addition of Matt Judon, dude,
it's good.
They can get after it.
But even the guy outside of AJ Terrell in the secondary. But again, you can mask that with
You throw Mike Hughes out there. You throw Kevin King out there.
Yeah.
They have a couple guys that can get it at corner. But dude, the Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell threesome,
Pause.
3-man. It's
trifecta.
Yeah, it's a trio, dude. Like it might be the best trio in football in the secondary. So
yeah,
I think they have a lot going for them, and I think they're going to be better than the Falcons. I mean, I think they're going to be better than the Ravens because the Ravens lost a lot. I'm not convinced about the Bengals. I don't know why people are.
That's another team that the mainstream media just gives a pass to because of Joe Burrow.
I think they could be good just because it is Joe Burrow.
Well, but they're not like a contender or anything.
I don't think they are. No, and a lot of people are talking like they could dethrone the Chiefs this year, which I just don't see happening. Like,
no, if anybody's going to dethrone the Chiefs, it's either the Jets or the Texans.
Yeah, like I'm sorry that Chase Brown's your number one running back.
No,
Zach Moss.
No shot.
Yeah, like
no
T.
Jamar
Higgins.
Chase.
T. Higgins doesn't. Jamar Chase. T. Higgins doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Jamar
Chase isn't playing until he gets a new bag, and they've already said they're not giving him a bag, so he's going to hold out.
No Tyler Boyd. They've lost pieces on the O-line. They brought in Trent Brown, who's been bad as of recent. Yep. Their D-line didn't they? They lost a couple guys on defense. I'm pretty sure.
I think they brought some guys in.
Yeah, they brought some guys, but nothing of like real note.
Their defense is still just like mid.
It's solid, and I don't expect their offense to be able to carry them. So yeah, I just don't see it with them. Obviously, I think that the Falcons will be better than the Browns. We're not unsure about number 4, and then the Steelers are going to be average. I think the Falcons could be 11-6, and that's better than the rest of the AFC North, if not tied. Like no one's really talking about how good the Falcons could be.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like
they might catapult themselves up into the top of the NFC.
Yeah, they could. I mean, it's
wide
Kirk.
open.
It's Kirk at the end of the day, but I also think
we think of like Minnesota 2 years ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think this team is a lot better defensively.
All around. Yes,
all around, but specifically more defensively.
Now, if Kyle Pitts can blossom this year, this might be the best offense Kirk's ever played with.
Yeah.
So, because Bijan is by far better than Dalvin Cook ever. He's by far better than anything Dalvin Cook has ever put on tape.
Yeah.
So,
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah. Like, I think, dude, this is going to be gross. So, yeah that's my hot take.
I'm low-key dreading our week 2 matchup.
Yeah.
Because I was like, before it was like, man, we're going to beat the shit out of the Falcons.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, bro. Potential playoff
Captain
preview.
Kirk revenge game, dude.
No, bro. Primetime Kirk.
Y'all starting 0-2 because Jordan
like
Love's
Dak
smoking.
Prescott in a playoff game.
Yo.
Clock strikes midnight when primetime Kirk walks in the field.
Jordan Love is smoking that Brazil pack down.
no, bro. There's no world.
And then Cocaine Kirk is sending Jalen Hurts to therapy. Jalen Hurts is Nick Sirianni's going to therapy.
I'm going to tell you this right now. There's no fucking timeline where the Eagles start 0-2. There's no fucking timeline.
Yeah, there
exists. I could totally understand us starting 1-1.
Yeah.
We're not starting 0-2.
What would you do if you did?
I'd probably jump off a bridge, bro. I don't know.
What would you do going into New Orleans and then into Tampa Bay?
Nah, we'd pick it up there. But that would for 2 teams that we're gonna be fighting with for seeding, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
To drop both games. I think at worst we'd be 1-1 to start.
I think so too. I think the more losable game is the Green Bay one.
I think it's Atlanta. I think we take care of business in Green Bay.
Well, it's not in Green Bay, it's in Brazil. It's on the other side of the planet.
You know what I mean? It's technically a home game, actually.
I don't know. Don't they hate the don't the gags down there fuck with green?
Yeah, but they took away a home game from us
I
to go
guess.
to Brazil.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. Any other hot takes? I don't really have anything else. Like that was my big one.
Yeah, I mean I don't really either. I mean it's not really a hot take, but I think Saquon Barkley is going to have a CMC renaissance.
You could
this year. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not really a hot take, but it's just a take that I've had all off season. You look at their situations very similar. Christian McCaffrey in Carolina was just pretty much, the Bugatti under the overhang of the trailer park.
Yeah.
Kind of just rotting away. Gets traded to San Francisco, one of the best O-lines in football, one of the best offenses in football, blossoms into the best running back. Look at Saquon, shitty offensive lines throughout this whole career. Comes to the Eagles, we're going to have a top 5 O-line, top 1 offense. He's going to have a big year. So that's not really a hot take. It's just a take I've echoed all off season. So I'm just going to say it louder for the people in the back.
I do have one more hot take. I think we're getting a Triple Crown wide receiver this year, and I think it's one of CeeDee Lamb or Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
You think about the years that Devontae Adams had with Rodgers, the touchdowns, the yards, the receptions. I think Garrett Wilson could have something like that. If not, it's CeeDee. But I think either way, we're getting a Triple Crown winner.
Yeah, that could be, bro. I don't hate that.
Yeah. I think I had one more. I can't remember. Tennessee is going to be second in the AFC South at the end of the year.
That's not a bad one. They got something cooking down there.
They got a little something, dude.
I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad, but it's something.
Yeah, they're putting in work down there. I think it's solid.
Interesting stuff. But I don't hate that. I think if Will Levis takes a step, I mean they got weapons.
Oh yeah, and they got weapons, all right.
I mean, hey, listen, Tony
they
Pollard,
have all the weapons, dude.
D-Hop, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then your guy Okonkwo.
Yeah, bro. Okonkwo, bro.
It's gonna be it's gonna be something.
I can't wait for football season.
Yeah, bro. We are a week and a half away. Next Wednesday, our schedule prediction live stream with the boys from Inside the Nest. It's gonna be a blast.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to see what everybody decides to pick.
Yep.
I'm excited to go through it myself, actually.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm very excited. I
have ideas of like how teams will do, but like until we really see the matchups and how it all shakes out, like then we'll know.
Yeah, like if there's a chance we think Green Bay's gonna be great, and then I've got them going fucking 7-10. But
it could be like New Orleans last year. We thought New Orleans was gonna be so great, and then they're just dog shit.
Ass.
Ass.
Yeah, dude.
Oh man. All right, let's touch on some news really quick.
Yes, keep it brief.
I think this is gonna have cascading effects, but Philadelphia Eagles trade for wide receiver Jahan Dotson. Gave up it was a 2025 third and 2 7-round picks for Jahan Dotson and a 5th rounder in 2025. I'll give you my thoughts. Holy shit. How does Howie Roseman keep getting away with it? How is my question? This is a guy who was a first-round pick 2 years ago.
Had a solid rookie year.
Very solid rookie year. Over the last 2 years, he's totaled 11 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards receiving. I think 82 catches, something like that. But 11 touchdowns from a guy who's really been a number 2, number 3 in Washington. With Terry McLaurin and whoever else they got over there. There is questions, this offseason about how if he wanted to compete for the spot or not. They didn't really have any tie to him, the new regime. So hey, we'll take him over here. I think this is exactly what we needed for the wide receiver 3 spot. Paris Campbell has been hurt. Johnny Wilson is under concussion. John Ross is under concussion. We didn't really want to trot Britton Covey out as our slot wide receiver, although I believe he's had a great camp and he's made a lot of plays at that slot wide receiver position. I wouldn't have been mad, but listen, you put Jahan Dotson there with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You put a guy who can certifiably play inside and out.
Yep.
He's done it in Washington. Elite route runner. Great yak guy. This is exactly what this offense needed, bro. That was the one question mark that you could probably pinpoint on this offense is wide receiver 3. Yeah, AJ and Devontae. Well, what happens if, one of them is not good to go? Jahan Dotson. Yeah. I would say this is a great upgrade over Quez Watkins.
I'd say so.
Yeah. So this I think this catapults the Eagles into top 2, top 1 in the NFC alone. I think this could get us to the championship game alone. Based on you look at what we've done this offseason, now you drop him into the mix. Yeah. Really only need him to show up in situational spots.
Yeah.
Doesn't need a lot of production out of him. I think he's going to flourish in the role. This offense alone could get us to the Final Four.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people kind of been, shitting on it a little bit. That's a small majority, but Eagles fans are very excited, me included. I think, dude, this offense is going to be – this is the best offense in Eagles history. Again.
Yeah. Yeah. It very well could be. I think it's a nice pickup. My only worry is that there was a bit of a drop-off with him last year, not so much in yardage. He wasn't getting the same touchdowns, and he wasn't getting the same yards per catch. And his completion percentage for himself plummeted.
Yeah, he did have a little bit of a drop problem last year, but again, I think you look at our offense, he's going to be like the 5th option. He's going to have not a lot of pressure there. He just needs to be productive enough to keep the defense honest.
Yep.
And he also had a bunch of shit quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He's got a bona fide top 10, if you want to rank it that broad. You got a bona fide top 10 guy throwing you the ball in Jalen Hurts, who's going to have a huge year. I think he looks better under him.
think so too. I just like to put up nearly identical stats in a year that you played 17 games compared to your rookie year where you only played 12. Like, it's a little but that's my only issue with it is how, is he going to be good enough in that 3 spot?
I think he will. I think he will. The pressure's, he's not going to have the pressure on him to, get 1,000+ yards.
No.
I mean, AJ and Devontae, they're going to do that in their sleep. Dallas Goedert could potentially do that depending on how lethal this offense is. And Saquon Barkley's going to get some run too there in the check down game. So he's really only going to be like a situational guy. He excels in the red zone, which is kind of interesting. That'll be an interesting wrinkle there. But I really, really, really love it. He's also going to be under contract for at least 2 more years. We have his rights for 3 years. This is great, bro. It's great.
I mean, you're not extending him the option, but you're not giving him the option.
The 5th-year option, we might. If
first-round pick.
Listen, if he produces well this year, we probably will extend the 5th-year option.
Doesn't that put him at like top 5 average?
No.
Or where does that put him? Where does that put him at?
I have no idea.
I mean, if it's anything more than
but he's on a rookie contract.
Yeah, but a first-round pick rookie contract. So, like, that 5th-year option is going to be big money.
You might
be looking at like $20 million, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know.
But still, either way,
all I know is that the cap hit for the next 2 years is super low. I think this year's like 1.5, and next year's like 3.4, something like that.
Yeah.
For a guy like Jahan Dotson, that's an absolute steal in this offense. So I'm over the moon about it. I think this was the missing piece in the offense. Now we just got to go do it. Defensively, maybe wanted to see a move, but I think, I think the strategy here is what KC did in 2022, play the young guys, get the startup costs out of the way, let them kind of, get their footing as we go. And if this, I'm telling you, bro, if this is a top 15 defense,
Mhm.
you're going to see this team come out the NFC.
Okay. I respect that.
Yeah, but I like the trade.
Yep, I do too.
I like it a lot.
Yep. All right. You got anything else?
I just think this trade could cascade into a potential Brandon Ayuk Washington trade. That's been getting a lot of steam, over the last couple weeks. He still has not reported to camp.
No.
His teammates have, slipped in interviews, former teammate Brandon Ayuk. Kyle Shanahan said in a press conference this past week, there's no update, no changes on the situation. Still kind of, the same thing with him and Trent Williams. So
I think Trent will be there.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
I just think, they're not the same team without Brandon Ayuk, because he really opens up the pass game for them. And George Kittle's great. CMC's great. Debo is cool.
Yeah.
But Brandon Ayuk really opens that show up for them.
Agreed.
And if he's not there, that's a huge blow.
Yeah, he's their only deep threat.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's very possible, especially with them trading a guy like Jahan Dotson, because, he's a first-round pick. Why are you giving up on him?
Mm-hmm.
That's really the only answer. Either that or they are just way too high on Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah. Throw out of rice.
Yeah. That would be a Washington Commander thing, though.
It would be. It's a McCaffrey, dude. You never know.
Yeah, but, you gave up on a first-rounder who has a high ceiling.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's true. All right. With that being said, this has been the Day One podcast. This has been a short one, mainly because your boy's got to wake up super early in the morning, but also next week we have a probably 3-hour-long show.
Mega stream.
Yeah, it's going to be dope. We're super excited, making all our predictions for every single game of the year. Make sure you tune in. We'll be here with Inside the Nest with DV and Smitty. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Whether you're on a boat, bus, or plane, you can get the Day One podcast content anywhere in the world. So make sure you go down to your local Sprint Mobile, pick you up a nice little touchscreen phone for like $60, throw some minutes on it, watch some content, all right? You can download it, watch it on the plane, whatever you got to do, all right?
There you go.
With that being said, I'm Kyle. That's Anthony. We'll see y'all later.
Peace.